The reception hall was almost aggressively beautiful. White roses, gold-trimmed place cards, little handwritten notes thanking guests for sharing in our love. Everything had been planned down to the lighting. I stood at the seating chart longer than I should have. My last name was there. My parents were seated at table 3, near the dance floor. My brother's college friends had 2 full tables near the bar. My name wasn't listed. I assumed I'd missed it. I checked again. Nothing. For a moment, I wondered if they'd decided on open seating. But the rest of the room told a different story. Each table had assigned chairs. Each chair had a printed card tied with ribbon. Except one. Near the hallway that led to the bathrooms and the service exit, there was a single folding chair tucked awkwardly at the edge of a table that clearly wasn't meant to have an extra guest. A yellow sticky note was taped to the back. My name, misspelled. No centerpiece, no place card, no ribbon, just adhesive and handwriting. I stood there, staring at it long enough for the bride to notice. She walked over, still glowing from photos and champagne. "Oh," she said lightly, following my gaze. "We had to squeeze a few things around last minute." She laughed, a short breathy sound. "We figured you'd be fine out of sight." Out of sight. It wasn't cruel in tone. It was casual. Assumed. That's what made it familiar. I looked around the room again. Even distant cousins I barely recognized had proper seats. My brother's childhood soccer coach had a centerpiece and a thank you card. I had a sticky note by the bathroom. A small part of me wanted to brush it off. Tell myself it didn't matter. Weddings are stressful. Seating charts are complicated. I've spent most of my life making explanations for other people's decisions. When we were kids, my brother got the larger bedroom because needed space. I got the basement room because I was easygoing. At holidays, I drove across state lines while he had too much going on. I was always the flexible one. Low maintenance. The one who wouldn't make it a thing. I picked up the gift I'd brought, an envelope tucked inside a box I'd spent weeks thinking about. It suddenly felt heavier. The bride tilted her head slightly. "You're not upset, right?" There was something in her voice, not concern, assessment. I met her eyes. "Wes, I'm not family after all." I said it evenly. No raised voice. No scene. Then I turned and walked toward the exit. No one stopped me inside. The doors closed behind me with a soft hydraulic hush. The air outside was cooler, quieter, real. I made it halfway across the parking lot before I heard my name shouted. My brother was jogging toward me, tuck's jacket unbuttoned, bow tie slightly crooked. "What are you doing?" he asked, slightly out of breath. "Leaving." He ran a hand through his hair. "Over a chair." I looked at him for a long moment. "It wasn't over a chair." He exhaled sharply. "It was tight seating. You know how these things go. Why are you making this dramatic?" There it was. Dramatic. I set the gift on the hood of my car. "Did you see where I was sitting?" I asked. He hesitated. That pause was longer than I expected. "Well, it was just logistics." "Near the bathroom," I said, with a sticky note. He looked toward the building, then back at me. "I didn't think it would bother you." That felt honest, and somehow worse. "Exactly," I said. He opened his mouth to respond but stopped. Inside the hall, I could see silhouettes moving near the windows. A few heads turning toward the parking lot. The wedding coordinator stepped outside briefly, scanning the situation, clearly concerned about timing. Authority, in beige heels and a clipboard. The schedule didn't include a family fracture in the parking lot. My brother lowered his voice. "Can you just come back in? Please, we can move some things around." Move some things around. After being called out. After I'd already walked out. "For once," I said carefully. "I don't want to be moved around." He stared at me. I don't think he'd ever really looked at me as someone who could opt out. "I didn't plan that," he said quietly. "She handled seating, but you approved it," I replied. Silence settled between us. Not angry. Just exposed. Inside, music started. The first dance was about to begin. "If you leave," he said, "people will notice. I think they already have." Another pause. For a second, I saw something shift in him. Not defensiveness. Awareness. "You've always just adjusted," he said. Not accusing. Realizing. "I know." The wedding coordinator approached, polite but firm. "We're about to start," she said gently to my brother. "They need you inside." He looked torn in a way I'd never seen. I picked up the gift and held it out to him. "I'm not trying to ruin your wedding," I said. "I just won't sit by the bathroom anymore." He took the box slowly. "You're serious?" he said.
Yes.
Another beat. "Okay," he said finally. "I'll call you." Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. He walked back toward the reception hall, shoulders slightly heavier than before. I got into my car. As I drove away, I didn't feel triumphant. I didn't feel angry either, just steady. For the first time, belonging didn't depend on where someone placed my chair. It depended on whether I was willing to stand up from it.